Greetings everyone, Eric here, and welcome to my How to Create a Comic Book series. In this episode, we'll be talking about word balloons and how they work within the page. Now before the video starts, I just wanted to kind of give out a little shout out to Polaris's GTA 5 live action series. You can find episode 1 as well as the newly released episode 2 in the links in the description below. The new one has been released on RPM Network, so go check that out. Now let's get on with the video. Alright, welcome to the video. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of show you the basic ideas for when you're plotting out your word balloons, because you got to know that the word balloons are just as important, let me get a pencil, as the actual artwork, because the word balloons are going to set the flow of your page. Now remember, the eye is going to have a natural way of reading things by just where it picks it up, especially where you're from. If you're from America, you're going to read things generally from left to right, and you're going to follow that pattern. So let's say I just kind of get a page, I'm just doing a rough layout here. And this is when you really want to think about it. Right at the rough layout page, you really want to get the idea down that, okay, where am I going to have my word balloons go? Okay. So you have the general, page here. You're just kind of working with it here. Let me darken it up a little bit for you, so you can really see it. All right, so you got your basic little page here. So now you're laying out your page. So you're saying, okay, I'm just gonna start doing it with, I'm gonna have the first one's gonna be cut in two, but with this one a little smaller, and then I'm gonna have like a big one in the middle here, and then I'm gonna have like maybe another one. I'm gonna pose the top one by having a small one over here, and maybe I'll even do a triple one just to kind of really show the opposing. So I have that. Now I'm just gonna show some characters talking. So I'm gonna have a guy like right here, just giving his blah blah monologue here. So I got a character here, and he's kind of talking to this guy who's just kind of chilling out over here. They're just kind of babbling on about useless crap. No one gives a crap. Let's do that there. And then in this one, I kind of show a little close up of this guy's face, just because it needs a close up. Everything every comic needs a close up shot every once in a while. And then now I'm just gonna stop there just for a moment. So what you want to look at here is you got these two scenes, and they depict two people who look like they're going to talk to each other. So you're going to need to figure out where the word balloons are going to be. And I'm sorry if I'm clearing my throat. Just deal with it, please, because I can't fix it. So you want to think, okay, these two are talking to each other. I need to make sure that your eyes, as the reader, is flowing with this. So what I want to do here is I want to set it up. Always have the first one you're going to read be on top. If you're going to read this balloon first, put it on top. So here, let me kind of zoom in a little bit more to kind of give you a better look at it. Now I know this is going to kind of distort it a wee bit, but let's try and get through this. So I'm going to have with this guy over here on the left is going to be saying something. So I'm going to have his word balloon, I'm just going to roughly put here. I'm going to, just to let myself know that he's talking there. And if I want this guy to retort, I'm going to probably leave enough space here. But then I notice that there's not really enough space there. So what I want to do is kind of cut off some of this, so I can mentally think, okay, I'm gonna have to cut off a little bit of this one when I do the final image to give myself a little bit more room. And that's another thing, you have to make sure there is room for the balloons to go. Now over here, as you can see, I already have room. So let's say I didn't want him to retort here, so he's not retorting here, so I go, okay, let me have it so he retorts over here. Now I have enough room, so I can kind of do the tail there, which is the part that's pointing to the person. I'll explain the balloons in the next session real quick. So now I have the idea of where this is going. Now, you don't really need to specify what type of balloon it is right now. I'll show you the types later. But right now, you're just kind of pointing where they are. So that's just your general idea. You want to lay it out. So as you can see here, I have the balloons so your eyes go from up here. They naturally fall right down here. So obviously, I want to pull you back over to here and flow you across this page. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to doodle whatever is going to be in here. I'm just going to lay out the balloon. So let's say I have a balloon here to whoever's talking, and then I have another balloon over here. Someone's talking over here. So now I have that flow. It goes over here, and then it flows back here. So now I need to bring it all the way back over here. So let's just say I put a little balloon here to bring you back in over. Let me move up. I know this is kind of hard to see. I'm sorry about that. This camera's not the greatest. So now you bring yourself back over to this panel. So you can have this anywhere because you're already moving that flow over here. So let's say I have a balloon down here where a guy's talking, and then kind of to bring your eye back up, just to kind of help you flow a little better, I'm gonna have another panel. I might have it like over here, pointing down. So now you're moving your eye back up. So you're kind of flowing across the page in a nice pattern here. You're reading it in the order that it's supposed to be in. And that's the important part. You want to make sure that it portrays the idea of reading in the order that it's supposed to be in. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're laying out your roughs for your page. Now what I'm going to show you next is I'm going to show you kind of the 4 basic word balloon types that you're going to find. So, join me over there and we will show you how to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the 4 basic word balloon types that you're going to find. So we're going to start right up here with this little girl and what she's saying, and then I'll just quickly draw it. So let me zoom in real quick and we'll get to it. Okay, now you can see here, I am not a letterer by any means of the word. So this is just me typing, putting something here for her to say. Now, here she's exclaiming that she is talking normally. So this will be the normal kind of balloon that you use all the time. And it's just really simple. It's just a basic ovalish pattern. But what you want to first do is you want to put the tail, which is the part that points to whoever's talking. So you just put a little pointer there. That's called the tail. And now what you're going to do is you're literally just going to outline everything she's saying. Now I'm doing this by hand, so obviously it's going to look a little weird. And there you go. That's your basic one. It's just a circle. Now if you wanted to, you could also do something kind of like more squarish. So let me just kind of draw right over here. Basic thing. So let's say you want to square it off a little bit. So you can kind of do like this, which I've seen some comics do, or it's a little more square. It's a little easier to do because you're doing straight lines rather than a circle, which is harder to do. But that's kind of your basic one for if you're just having them talk normally. Now we'll move on to the next one. Now this one, as he's proclaiming, is him shouting. So he's yelling at someone. He's really, we'll even put a little sound, a little effects there of him like really just shouting really loudly. Now what you do here is you kind of do a very sharpness here. You do a lot of sweeping sharp lines to create points. You're still gonna have the tail, but you can kind of make it out as part of the spike. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of go like that, and just kind of really out there, just really sharp lines, and then point back there. So it's just really sharp lines, and then you can put in exclamation points here, just really sell the point that he is shouting. And that's kind of your basic. That's how most people do shouting. There are probably other ways to do it. I don't really know that many because, I don't really pay attention that much to the balloons themselves. So you can Google it anyway. So let's move on to the next one. Now, as you can see, this person is saying, I am thinking intently, which means he is thinking. So this will be a thought balloon. Now, the way I do thought balloons, I know there's many ways you can do it, but the general way I like to do it is do it kind of like a cloud. So first, let's do the cloud thing. Now, you're not going to put the normal tail that you normally would. You can if you want to, but I don't because it just kind of looks weird with this design. What we're going to do is we're going to basically just make kind of like a bubbly, cloudy looking thing, just kind of like that. Just a little bubbly, little bubbly cloud looking thing. And then to point it to this person, what you would do is you would do these little circles. Now each one going big. So the biggest circle is going to be here next to the actual, thing. And then you're going to generally get them a little smaller as you get close to the person. So I normally do 3. And obviously it's going bigger to smaller here. And that's generally how I do thought balloons. It's just very basic, little boop, 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 boop. You can probably get a little fancier with them if you want, but that's just my general thing on it. On to the next one. Okay, now this one's whisper. He's saying I am whispering. It's in small text, which is something you want to do. If you're going to make them sound like they're whispering, generally put it in small text so that it really sells the point of them talking silently by having small text. Now what I like to do here is I like to do basically a broken line pattern, which is kind of like when you have that dash line like this. These are broken line patterns. So that's what I kind of do here. Now it's kind of hard to do because I'm going to just kind of quickly lay in with pencil the basic outline of this one, because this one's kind of hard to do because you're going to have to feather it. So let's do here. So you're going to have your basic tip here, and then you're just going to kind of dot it a little bit. Just very quick little strokes here, nothing too, long. Very quick little strokes here, and doot, doot, doot. Turn it real quick, doot, 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 and then doot. And there you go. So it kind of gives the appearance of it being very faint, which is what you kind of give here, is a very faint effect. And that's generally how you can kind of get that little effect done. But I'll pull back here and let you see all of them all at the same time, so be right back. Alright, so here you have all 4 of them kind of, nicely presented here again. So that's just the basic 4 one. You have your normal one up here, which you can kind of do in a square pattern if you want. You have your shouting, which is just going to be very jagged and very, all over the place. You have your thinking, or your thought balloon, which is going to be a little more of just a kind of a cloudy bubble with the little pointers, which is just kind of going big and small. And then you have your whispering, which I do with the little dashed line, which is kind of the faded line effect. So I hope that was a little bit helpful with just those basic ones. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you found some enjoyment out of that and got something out of it. Again, I just want to remind you guys to go and check out the GTA 5 live action series, episode 1 and episode 2. Episode 1 by Polaris, and then episode 2 is uploaded to the RPM network. You can find links to them in the description below. Go check them out, and hope you guys enjoy your time drawing up some comics. See you guys in the next video. Later.